I do not understand what the relevance of the SOP steps or content is when you are talking about cancellation. Surely you understand me. Do you understand me?
I hope I understand you. And
So why was that relevant when you refused to cancel? Why was the SOP of relevance?
the SOP will remain relevant, Commissioner. 4, this SOP is an instruction.
To do what? To do what?
It's an
Or instruction on what?
It's an instruction to the departments.
Towards deployment.
Towards deployment.
And once you deploy, you are done with SOP, aren't you?
Once
you've deployed, you are done with SOP, correct?
Correct, Commissioner.
Yes. Why does it become relevant now beyond that point?
It became relevant, Commissioner, because of the actual deployment that were carried out without observing or taking this SOP into consideration. I mean, we are here today, Commissioner, because of irregular deployment.
Would the relevance not be that it had not been observed and therefore the deployment was not authorized? Is that not the case? Or would that not be the case?
That would be the case.
That would be the case.
Yes, Commissioner.
So all the more reason for you to cancel, not so. Instead of saying, by the way, you did not observe the SOP and therefore because you did not observe it, I'm not going to cancel. It's all the more reason that you should cancel. If you say it was not observed and therefore the deployment was improper, all the more reason that you should cancel. So I still do not understand your reasoning.
Yeah, there is nothing wrong with the Commissioner not understanding my reasoning, but from where
Make me understand. Make me understand.
From where I am sitting, Commissioner, right, with my administrative experience, when
which I don't, which I don't have.
Okay, Commissioner, from where I'm sitting, I expected my superior, right, upon realizing that there are these irregular deployments, right?
Irregular under the SOP.
Exactly.
Failure to follow some or all of the SOP steps.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I would have expected of him to say, city manager, here is a department which chose to do things out of the normal way as per this. But instead, right, my superior instruct me to cancel. Fine.
You are again conflating grounds now. You are again conflating grounds. You are talking about why you, Inspector Malatji, did not cancel. You have accepted just now, a couple of questions back, you have accepted that failure to follow the SOP steps would have been sufficient ground to cancel. You have accepted that. And I then said, so all the more reason that you should have canceled. Whether it should have been taken to someone else and so on, that's a totally different basis for you not canceling. And that is not what I'm addressing. I'm addressing the A ground that you yourself have given, 8.3, as a ground for not canceling, for Director Malatji not canceling. Not about this, or rather a need for this to have been taken to someone else. I'm talking about a ground that you have given for not canceling, or for Director Malatji not to cancel. So what I'm saying is, would it be logical for you to say I did not cancel because the SOP was not followed, rather than saying because the SOP was not followed, indeed, I ought to have cancelled, or that was reason enough for cancelling, instead of giving it as a reason for refusing to cancel. That's what I have difficulty with. Do you understand me now?
Commissioner, I understand you, but I'm also having a difficulty with the commissioner, singling out one reason.
No, you have itemized them as separate grounds. You did it. Of course, I understand that in the end, you may look at these cumulatively, but looking at this as a ground on its own, I'm saying it is simply not a ground at all. Because even if you look at them cumulatively, this one should not come into the equation at all, because it does not make sense. You may have your other reasons. Maybe this should have been taken to A, B, C, D instead of me. That's something else altogether. But to have this as a ground or a basis for not cancelling, it does not make sense. Because not following the SOP steps should actually have been a reason to cancel. So you should not have included this at all. Do you get me?
I get the commissioner, and
Yes.
I get the commissioner. I
Yes.
understand the commissioner's reasoning, right? I mean, I understand
Yes.
the reasons given to me by the commissioner that I should not have included this one, right?
Yes.
And
So let's please forget about it, Director. I thank you very much. That's all I wanted. Thank you.
Can I just add to this conversation that the other reason you give is that the instruction was not directed to the initiator
yes,
of the ad hoc services, and this is Water and Sanitation Department. That's who you're referring to.
correct.
But you made the appointment. Your department made that appointment. We know specifically Klapperkop and Brickfield you did, and then we know that the balance of them, you had given Piri instruction to run with this, and you earlier accepted that it was an instruction to execute the request. So you did the appointments, you are the right person to terminate, because Water and Sanitation didn't make the appointments, they were made by you.
We're talking in respect of Klapperkop
And the ones that Piri issues letters, the
the
list,
addition-
remember they gave him a list, and then he issued letters, deployment letters. So it's your people
yes.
that have done the appointments, so it's your people that would terminate.
No, yes, with regard to the Klapperkop one and the ones in respect of which GL account numbers were provided, it's me who issued the instruction, and then
And the others, it's Piri who issued instructions saying he acts on your instruction. So it's your people, it's APSS that gave Goobies the instruction to proceed with the service. That's surely you accept that's a fact. That's how it happened. We have deployment letters from Mr. Piri. Is he not in your department?
he is.
Yes. So your department issued deployment letters
Yes,
through Piri and through you in that email of the 7th, right? Where you say they're starting to work on the 7th. So you are the right people to terminate because you're the people that appointed. So reason 8.2 doesn't hold either as a ground for refusing to terminate. It can't hold. You're appointed.
you know, with regard to the club, you know, my email is very specific. It is very specific to say Klapperkop, this. In respect of that, yes, it's us who could have terminated the.
And the same with the balance that Piri issued deployment letters. Goobies relied, remember, you know this story. After they received the termination letter, they went they responded to Deputy Commissioner Spies and said, but we have letters of appointment. So it's that simple. Your department made the appointments. because the authority to appoint lies with you. It's not the client that makes the appointment. Can we agree that?
I agree with the Commissioner in respect of the Klaperkop ones.
The Piri ones, did the water and sanitation make those appointments?
From where I'm sitting, right, water and sanitation made those appointments because they
So
were...
so the deployment letter is not the appointing authority that gives them the go-ahead to work? Are you saying that's not the case?
In respect of the additional ones.
Yes, the
No.
one that were issued by Piri, did they not give them authority to go ahead and deploy?
They might have interpreted it as an authority to...
When you made the decision not to follow his instruction, that in fact, there was an instruction from the chief of police that these services must stop because there were money issues, there were budget issues, there were requests to ask for more money. You're aware that Deputy Commissioner Dlamini had suggested or requested Commissioner Spies to ask for more money to fund this deficit. Did you ever become aware of that?
I do not remember, but
Did you become aware that the instruction came from the chief of police that we must stop these ad hoc services and we are not going to ask for more money?
after the communication,
Yeah, you became aware of it after.
I've given you enough time and I did not want to interrupt you.
but Commissioner, you are interrupting
no,
me.
because what you are doing now is you are saying you are being victimized by other people. And
Exactly.
I'm not victimizing you, I'm asking you questions. So your issues with them, you can deal with them separately. When you are answering my questions, I want you to account only for your conduct. That's why when I was referring you to this document, I wanted you to account only for your conduct, not to tell me about how your colleagues are treating you. So looking at this, let's assume for a moment that they are equally guilty. They are equally to blame. They could have done something. Let's assume that for a moment, and for purposes of our discussion, let's accept that that is so. Now, account for your conduct without blaming other people.
Commissioner, thanks very much. I am not reluctant or afraid to account for my conduct, but I think it would be fair and it would be just for this commission to know that among other reasons, I might have done things wrong. I'm forced to talk about it, right? My colleagues wanted to take advantage of this commission to get rid of Director Malatji. That is why you go to my hearing, it's speech. You come here, it's speech, right? That in itself, to me, is an indication.
Director Malatji, I'm going to leave it there because it seems to me you don't want to account for your conduct. You want to tell me about the vendetta that your colleagues have against you. So if that's what you want to do and you're not prepared to answer my question, I'm going to leave it there.
No, I'm prepared to answer your question.
No, then account for your conduct. Don't tell me about the vendetta against you and the fact that they want to get rid of you. Because at the commission here, nobody gets rid of another person. Here you come to answer questions because we are a fact-finding commission. You assist us with facts and facts only. And what is in front of me is the fact that since the day you were instructed to terminate these ad hoc services, they continued until June, and the cost to the city was more than 50 million rands.
I agree with you.
Yes.
Commissioner, I agree with you. The cost is sitting at that, but I'm saying I might have not done, right? I might have not cancelled this, but that does not necessarily mean, right? They were supposed to sit back, get this, what you call ballooning, you see? So I'm saying to the commission, I accept what might be wrong in terms of my conduct, but I'm pleading with the Commission, right, to seriously take note of the fact that they also had a role to play. If I give,
And Director Malatji, when Mr. Bolhayes was here, if you listen to his evidence, you would have heard me say to him, why is it that only Piri is being blamed for this? Because more people than Piri were responsible for this, including those who authorized the payment. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not just you, but because you are here today, you can only answer for your conduct. So Mr. Skakani, I will leave it there and then.
thank you.